with Bruce Wilson here at the National Wrestling Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and Dick Wilson's going in. Your father, talk a little bit about your thoughts of his opportunity to be recognized for all of his wrestling achievements and the way he impacted our sport.
Well, we're first honored and thrilled that my dad is being inducted into this Hall of Fame. I mean, we think of it like Canton for football or Cooperstown for baseball. I mean, this is the pinnacle of the sport, and my dad would have been thrilled to receive this honor. He was a pioneer in the sport. He was actually the first man to take the mat to represent the United States in Greco-Roman wrestling in the Olympic Games in 1956.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And he won his match. So,
he won a lot of matches.
He won a lot of matches.
He went to 3 Olympic Games, right? I mean, that was how many people have a parent who's been to 3 Olympic Games? That must have been kind of neat to know, right?
Exactly. He was. I grew up bragging about my dad, and it was, kind of like. My dad's tougher than yours. He went to 3 Olympic Games, but he wasn't just a Greco guy either. He was.
Oh yeah, no, I heard he won some national titles in freestyle.
National titles in freestyle. Won the Olympic trials 4 times. Not too many guys have won in the Olympic trials 4 times. 3 times in Greco, once in freestyle. Won the Pan American Games in freestyle, as well as being 5th in the World Championships in freestyle. So he did it all.
Do you remember him ever competing? I mean, age-wise, where were you when he was actually out on the mat?
Well, I mean, I remember, I was very young, but I remember going to, I think, a national AAU match in Toledo, and that he won the tournament, but we got to the match, and he'd already just pinned the guy. So I missed seeing him, but I didn't get really to see him compete much.
Now, he spent a lot of time with Scalzo and that whole group in Toledo building the World Cup. And I mean, I was there a few times when the World Cup was still there. What are your thoughts about the impact he and his peers in Toledo had on wrestling? Because they didn't just compete or officiate. They started a traditional event that's going to be huge. We go to L.A. next week for the World Cup,
Yes. I mean, Toledo was a mecca for wrestling. I mean, it's got a history that's amazing, and it was all Scalzo. Scalzo, of course, I think he's being inducted into the United World Hall of Fame.
Right, the international one in a few days, right?
Yes, and that's, how cool was it that Mr. Scalzo was being inducted into that when possibly his greatest wrestler is being inducted into this National Hall of Fame. So I'm thrilled about that, but, my dad just, worked with Scalzo and Torrio.
I mean, legendary names in wrestling.
Yeah, Dick Torrio was a dear friend of my dad and myself, and because I was Dick's son,
Yeah. You were around a lot of that.
Yeah.
So, did you do any wrestling yourself?
I did. I wrestled high school and college. I wrestled at the University of Toledo for my dad.
That must have been fun. How good of a coach was he, and how weird was it to have him as your coach?
He was a great coach. I mean, he was inspiring, and of course, I learned pretty early on that they didn't raise your hand because your name was Wilson. But he encouraged me, and if I lost, he was there, correcting things. So I never would have done what I did in the sport, which was nothing in comparison. But it meant a lot in my life as well.
Have you had fun this week? I mean, they opened up the brand new hall. It's kind of been unique for a lot of people that come every year, but what have your thoughts been about all that?
Well, I've never been here, and it was awesome to see the Hall of Fame, and it seems like they've done a wonderful job in the renovation, I'm just thrilled that we got to see it, and kind of great timing for us that my dad's being inducted, and when the thing is brand new again.
Well, hey, congratulations to your family and all the people that that knew Dick and spent a lot of time with him, and I know that he'd been under consideration for a long time, and this is the time to celebrate, right?
Absolutely. We're thrilled, as I said.
Thank you very much.
Okay.